welcome to a really cool build. The YOKOMO Works 91. Back when I was racing a lot in the four-wheel drive class, I think I was running a laser, can't remember. These were the things to be. Hi, it's Tony from Hearns. Good morning. Well, it's morning here. All the local hot guys were running a Works 91. Reese Birtles, Kev Seckhold, so many people were running these and always successfully, and these have just literally landed in Hearns this morning. I got off the train and come in to be greeted by a wall of yellow, and for once it wasn't Walker's Donuts. So we have a Works 91 kit here. So I'm not wasting time being out in the shop serving customers. I get to build this. I've never ever had one. Never had anything to do with one. I've never even driven one. So now I get to build one. And I better do a good job because I think Brett is going to actually race this one. So that'll be interesting. Let's just move some of this stuff out. I was just saying to Brett before, I just realised that we were using 2.2 inch wheels. Must have been back then in 91. I thought they came much later. But yeah, my memory, as we all know, isn't what it used to be. Well, let's get this show on the road. Very keen to do this. Bag one. Probably be needing that early on. Go. Move all that over here. Some of that here. Let's go down to YOKOMO town. I don't know whether these are still magnesium or not. Actually, gee, there's a surprising amount of weight in these. Where's it? I was going to grab the scales that we use on the live show to see how much they weigh. But they do feel really weighty. Anyway, enough of that. Oh, there is a supplement. They've only just released it. There's already a manual supplement. One is for the wheel hubs, the other one is for the shock spacers. Don't need to worry about them for today. In this first build session, I'm not sure how far we'll get. What's up first? Chassis, bulkheads, main lay shaft, and the diffs. Yeah, I think that's probably as far as I'll get on the first run. Wait and see. And I do know I need the chassis. Chassis is in fact fiberglass, so I'm sure there's a massive market there for carbon fibre replacements. Mr. Paul Sims at Berserk, I'm sure will be able to help you out with that. I'd imagine there'll be a factory option for that as well. It's the sort of thing you'd want to pre-plan before actually building your kit, so you don't have to pull it all apart. Okay. If I'd known I was going to be building this morning, I would have built my electric hex driver in with me, but I didn't. It was a surprise. These are all, from the looks of things, exactly the same size, so you don't have to, there is a, no they're not. A couple of different ones and a couple of different lengths. So it's M3 by 8 in the rear bulkhead, and we'll put that on first. I hadn't actually been tempted to buy any of the other re-releases, the 834 or the 870, because I never really had any experience with these cars apart from getting beaten by them. But I could be tempted to move on one of these. This particular one is actually going to be used. Brett is going to run this car as he did with our 870C. So we'll probably get a run beforehand and almost definitely at the Vintage Bash. And for those that have been watching my personal Facebook page over the past week or so, you've seen me crazily painting bodies every second day. Done 4 or 5 now. And I'm thinking, oh, I'm getting near the end, and then this turns up. So you can guess what's coming home with me tonight. Okay. This goes around that way. And these are 3x6s, so these are the smaller ones. Now these two front mounts are actually two different types of screw. This one is a countersunk, and the other side is a button head. So note that when you're building yours, these ones here. And then the back one is also a button head. Thus far we've been blessed. It's just me and you people out there, but I'm pretty sure Brett will be in at some stage. He's busy outside at the moment, but he's super keen for this one to get built, which is why I'd only been here an hour and he's in the studio. Now the front bulkhead is only 2 screws. You don't put in all 4 straight away. So I imagine there's something else that's going to go on there later. See me once again putting the screws in, just finger tight, and then once they're all in, then doing them up. I'm not thread locking these at this stage. Let's be honest, partly because I can't find the thread lock. Alright, bulkheads are in. This is good, it starts to look like a car straight away. The main shaft and the slipper assembly, which is in bag 2, which is all here. See, if I leave this up like this, it obscures your view of me. That's probably a good thing. Bag 2. Some of you guys at home are sitting there going, "Geez, so he's getting paid to do this." And yeah, I am. I get paid to put kits together. And when I'm not doing this, I'm outside serving the customers. It's not a bad job. Alright, I've got to work with Brett, but you know, could be worse. I hate these slippers with the hex things. Getting them to line them up is a pain. Anyway, here's this shaft. Okay, and hex on this side. There's a drive pin here. And belt pulley goes on. There's two pulley flanges, which I believe are the same. Yes. That goes on like that. Then flanged bearing. Got a little extra diagram here to make sure you get the direction correct. The flanging goes toward the drive pulley. Now we move down to here. We've got another drive pin, another pulley, pulley flange. Now the slipper outer plate and the slipper inner plate. They are different. There's a defined spigot on the inner plate. The outer plate is just a smaller spigot. Now this is keyed, so you'll need to turn it around to get it on the right spot. So I said before, this is a bit I don't like. Trying to get these on. Got that on. You need to check the direction of the spur gear here. Important to make sure this is the correct direction. This is all right. I've got the slipper pad in. Now the inner slip. Sorry, the outer slip plate. That's correct. It's actually going together quite easily. There and there. You don't need to worry about it. It's I've got directions here on where to set your slipper initially. You don't need to worry too much about that just yet. You just need to do it up so that it doesn't fall apart. Now I've already with the pins come out of the pulley flange, so we need to move that around to get it back in position. This sort of thing happens when you're doing these. That's it. Okay. Just okay. can stay there for the moment. It's ready to go. It says in the instructions, adjust the slipper so that when the car accelerates from a dead stop, there is a small amount of slip. That's pretty vague, but that's actually what it is. If you're not familiar with what to do, you'd be best served to ask someone else about it, and they'll let you know. We're on to bag 3 now. It's diff time. The YOKOMO gear diffs I've built lately have been quite easy to put together and quite nice. Hopefully this is the same. Let's get all these bits out. Put the lay shaft up there. It's strange for me to be back in the studio again. Did the Haunted Evo build 3 or 4 weeks ago. Haven't been back in here since, apart from doing the live show, which we'll also be doing again later on today. Hasn't been much to build. We knew this one was coming. It's come a little bit earlier than I thought. So I get to do it. I get to do part 1 today at least. I might even get part 2 later on. Not sure. Let's just get all these bits out. There we go. Bit of grease to put on the O-rings. We'll be needing some diff oil, and I'll be using the 5,000 weight that YOKOMO recommend, because that gives us a starting point at least. So we know, okay, it's 5,000 in there initially. If that turns out to be not any good, we'll change it later. So let's get started. Oh no, I sense a great presence.
A presence of greatness.
No, I'm already here.
TFG!
Look, there's a chassis with, those bulkheads, they weigh a ton.
They do, don't they?
Yeah.
Wow, this is the all new YZ-091, right?
This is a serious
bit of kit. You like it?
Yeah. I'm thinking Mr. Berserk's going to make ones of those.
Will he ever?
If he hasn't already. He's probably seen me, even though this isn't live, and knowing.
He can smell it. He can smell the FRP and it offends him.
And he's just going, no, no, no.
He gets offended.
I'm guessing YOKOMO.
Bloody, look at you go! Hey?
Look, I've just been explaining to the people how it's been weeks since I've built anything in here.
And it just goes together for you, doesn't it?
I didn't do that uptight yet because I know it's going to change later.
Tight like a tiger.
Yeah. I just did it up to hold it together.
Yeah, but you just don't want the slipper pad thingy to fall off.
Oh no, but they're going to fall off anyway. Yeah, I explained how they all fall off anyway.
Well, that's why I was just coming in here to take over and...
Yeah, it just...
No, I wasn't trying to... I was just going to like tighten a little bit, because if they
yeah, they're always a pain, aren't they?
Dislocate, so to speak, or dislodge.
Or dislocate. Ooh.
There you go. I haven't set the slipper, but it's not going to fall apart now.
No, well, I explained on the slip.
What a beautiful little drive assembly, huh? Simple but good.
I think that's the thing I like about it. They're so simple.
Aren't they?
Yeah. It's just...
And they just fall together.
Yeah.
Being YOKOMO's Japanese quality.
And after I built them, they fall apart.
Well, we usually crash them, don't we?
Well, we do.
But that's okay.
But you're going
to take a hit.
You're going to run this one, aren't you?
I think it's going to be the Vintage Bash 4.0 car.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
You're going to bash it.
If Kenji doesn't come and steal my ride again.
Oh, it's possible he might.
I'm bitter on that still. Hey,
Kenji Hosada, are you going to take this car?
Kenji-san, yeah. And he can bring his own cars this time. Hey?
Yeah.
We're going to have a Super Astute too, aren't we?
Are we?
Oh, that's coming out in February.
Yeah.
Don't know if we're going to run one.
Yeah, we are.
Don't mind me, I'm just getting in here, getting amongst all your stuff for you.
That's alright. I'm
You
okay
know me,
with it.
once I see a tub of lube, I'm in. Head first.
Yeah, I know that.
I like to lubricate the gaskets ever so slightly.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really help with assembly so much, but it does create a better seal, and also hopefully makes it reusable, because it then doesn't get stuck and sort of melt itself to the plastic. You know, it sort of bonds.
Plus,
and then tears.
The
last thing you want is a torn gasket.
You just want to get your fingers all lubed up.
Jeez, you took it there.
I did.
You took it there.
I did, but you know, hey.
There's two kinds of O-rings.
Yeah.
Figure this one out.
There's a black one and there's a red one.
Where's the black one go on the outside?
The black one,
And the red one on the inside?
Yeah.
Is there a washer on the outside?
There's a big washer on the outside. Where's my big washer? There it is. I haven't done that bit.
You haven't done that bit?
I haven't done that bit. I was only just starting on this when you came in.
Well, I've gone ahead and of course jumped in head first.
Yep. Now I've got lube all over my fingers.
Well, could be worse.
Well, it is Friday night.
It is Friday. It is Friday. It's appropriate.
It is appropriate.
It's definitely appropriate.
Right
You can see me here. I do like to use rubber grease or O-ring grease on all these assemblies just to help get a better seat. Seat's nice. What's your trick to put in these O-rings in?
There is no trick.
There is no trick. You know what I've found that works really well? A really clean 7mm wheel driver.
Yeah?
To locate the 5mm O-ring. Just making sure it's clean. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? I know. But boom. You just push it down. It's satisfying. It's a satisfying push down.
Yes, that's what James May says in his things.
Is it?
The satisfying click when something goes in. It could, however, be full of crap.
We're double teaming these diffs. Are you excited for this car? Did you ever have one?
No, I mentioned that early on. I've never even driven one.
Yeah, you and I both.
But
you and I both.
All I know that was I was racing against them and was getting beaten by them. However, that may not necessarily have been a car.
What would have been?
No,
they were pretty awesome.
They were pretty awesome, and
no,
I wasn't. I can't even remember what I used to drive then. I think it would have been a laser.
A laser?
Yeah.
Well, you were Australian. It was very Australian to drive a laser.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yep.
They were like the...
Oh, the gun. I had a succession of them.
Did you?
And prior to that, I'm embarrassed to say I was driving Shoemakers.
Really?
Yeah.
So you actually had Shoemakers?
I had Shoemakers. I ran a Boss Cat quite successfully for some time.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't picture that at all.
And having said that, I know that Chris Putnam will be watching this and he'll be getting a little bit excited to know that I was a kindred spirit with him at one stage.
Well, you still love us now.
Well, look, you know, mistakes have been made. While you're doing that, I'm not actually talking about what I'm doing, but I think people can see what I'm doing anyway. It's not like assembling a gear diff has changed much.
In how many years?
Yeah, well, since 91 for a start.
Well, it's the same gear diff. These would never have had gear diffs, as I'm sure
I'm
you're
just
aware.
thinking, yeah, I'm thinking...
These would have had ball diffs.
They would have had ball diffs.
They would have had... No way no one would have had a gear diff in them.
Yeah. And I thought, oh.
But yeah, I've gone ahead and put this one together.
Have you now?
Somewhat. And I like to go ahead and put a little bit of lube in there.
Yeah.
Did I get the... Is that diff lube or shock lube?
That's
diff lube.
Yeah, unlike... You're just trying to bring out the memory of when I did one with chocolate all that.
Didn't you?
Yeah.
Or vice versa.
Yeah. Not that I'm bitter and twisted about that.
No, you read the 5,000 or?
I read it like 3 times to make sure I don't want to have to clean one out again.
Ooh. Look at these beautiful... You wouldn't think these little plastic gears would cope with the punishment that they do, but they do.
Well, we're going to find out.
These are the same diffs that
we're going to put a 3.5 turn in.
These are, well, velodrome YZ, you reckon?
Yeah.
Belt drive cars do make good velodrome cars. I don't care what anybody says. Look at this. And these are the same diffs that are in fact in the 870C from memory. I'm only going from
Oh, yeah, I didn't build the 870, so you did.
distant memories.
But
It was like 2 years ago. Can I say 2 years ago?
you can.
Probably 1 year ago. Time flies.
Doesn't matter.
Here we go.
Oh, you're putting yours together.
I like to put the... I like to get that happening and sort of bleed it a bit.
Move it.
And then I'll get the top part done. Top part, a little bit of rubber grease, of course, because I can't get my finger out of the pot.
Yeah. And when you get home, she'll say, why are your fingers blue and lubey? Again.
Blame the gimp.
You can just say, I was working with TFG
That's
again,
right.
and mistakes were made.
That's right. It's helping him getting into his latex again.
Yep.
Oops. You know what I nearly forgot to do?
What did you nearly forgot to do?
Put the bearing on.
Oh,
Because you'll find that the bearing only can go on
with the
out drive.
Oh, see, I mean, like on this one.
Ooh, does the bearing fit over?
I don't know.
Oh, you can.
You can.
That's alright.
Yeah. Gonna say, because it didn't say that.
But that's alright. I just play it safe. Because I've built a few
Just
not
quietly.
nitro cars, but 10 scale
You
cars.
might be right.
Really?
It's just got the vague thing of the bearing. We'll bring that down here. The bearing's just sitting there. It doesn't say do this first.
Yeah, I know the 8 scale diffs are like that. They will not, because they've got big heavy duty bearings.
Yeah.
And they will not go over the outdrive, but they'll go over the diff. Just getting that seated for you.
Tell you what, it's so painfully close. It made a noise which said I might go over.
There you go.
Here we go.
That's a good noise.
I wasn't looking forward to pulling that apart.
Not now you put oil in it.
No, exactly. Not now I've put oil in it. But I'm gonna.
You gotta make sure this washes down and get this pin down.
You've already lubed up my gasket.
Thank you.
What a top man you
I'm
are.
a gentleman with the lube, you know that.
Yeah. I need one of these.
The customers, the viewers are really excited that we've stopped talking about lube in a minute and start actually doing RC stuff.
Yeah, but
Look at that, folks.
I'm just going to pause the recording now and go out and talk more about lube.
So, because I've put a little bit of assembly grease on there, it should actually hold the pin and locate it. We'll put a little bit more oil, fill up to the cross pins. Now, it doesn't have to be chockers with oil, because if you overfill it, it will just leak out and hydraulic lock. It's actually the paddling of the gears through the oil. So it's not actually...
I feel I need to make a funny paddling noise, but I'm not entirely sure how to.
Paddling noise? I think you know very well how to.
That's a paddling.
Like that? Is that paddling?
I don't know, but I'm getting excited.
Steamer?
Yeah. Cleveland?
There you go. Then it's very important to offer it up, make sure the pins are aligned, screw holes are aligned, little fingers are aligned. I did the mesh along the way. Double check the mesh before you put any screws in it.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that right, Dr. Jeff? Don't forget this one, buddy. And the O-ring.
Yeah, that's got to go in up.
Where's your
No, we've
orange
got to
O-ring?
put an O-ring yet. Why do we want O-ring down?
Did you put the O-rings on the wrong end?
I put it there.
Sorry. I've got you rattled. What great little diffs.
I rattle anyway.
Come in here and we've... Look, you've got 2 diffs for the price of 1.
Even better.
No? Now what I like, this is a critical part of the build, TFG, is actually when you're screwing these screws down, like I said, checking the mesh, making sure there's no clicking, everything's nice and smooth. Do not screw like one screw down really tight. Get one screw in to locate it, put another one in on the 180 degrees opposite side, get that down, and do not do it tight, just make the surface. So it's countersunk, just get that seated.
So you're doing it across like you do on a cylinder head.
Yep.
This is us using proper mechanic terms.
Mechanicals.
But you are
And these are
proper
actually,
mechanic.
1 point, yes. Allegedly. Well, proper. You forgot the washer.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get it out again to put the washer in.
Sorry, I didn't mean to point that out.
No, I was already trying to get it out, thinking, oh, where's the washer?
And another critical point to do is do not get any diff hydraulic fluid into the screws, into the screw holes, because that will cause a hydraulic lock and that will just strip the thread. So that's the other reason you don't want to overfill them. Fill them to the cross pin.
Yep.
Now, like I said, I'm just mating the face of the screw into the plastic. And once they're all pulled down, I'm actually going to back them off a quarter of a turn, and then that way I can torque them up all evenly. Oops, see that one's gone tight, that's gone tight.
Once again, I find it interesting that over the years we've discovered that you and I build things pretty much exactly the same.
Yeah, well, and then I undo it a quarter, undo it a quarter, undo it a quarter.
I'm just lining all this up so I can put that on.
And then I'm going to, quarter of a turn, I'm going to double check the mesh. Beautiful operation. Then I'm going to go ahead and I know.
Now I'm doing exactly what you're saying.
Get it all nice.
Put it on. The fact that it all went together straight away is more a miracle than anything else. But again, what you said, that's all turning perfectly, so I know that diff is going to be alright.
Now I'm just working my way around and just adding a 1/16 of a turn of torque. Like so.
And you'll check it all again to make sure it's working freely, because if you don't, you can sometimes go too far.
And that's right.
And that's not unusual for you.
Takes a couple times to go around the face, but that's okay. And don't over tighten because it is into plastic. That is done. Calling that one done.
Is that the finest diff you built this morning?
It's the best diff I built this morning.
It looks like the only one you built.
Well,
or what about the one you built last night?
No, I do all my stuff early in the morning. I'm an early morning man.
Yeah?
Yeah. I do my best work before the sun comes up, mate.
I'm
just double checking it, and it's bloody beautiful. Really nice. Like I said, but it will bed in. So with these diffs, it is important, like ball diffs, I do like to sort of bed them in once the car's assembled before actually driving it. And that'll just be having the wheels tick over, like a few ticks off of neutral, grabbing one wheel and just spinning it over nice and slow, front, rear, getting the diffs all settled, making sure it's all nice and warm, there's no clearance, no signs of any visible leaks. Then send the dog.
Send the dog.
Send the dog. Send the super dog.
Oh, send the super dog. I did say to the people that I was somewhat excited to build this one because of my lack of experience with them.
We're going to get the diffs in and everything. Look at us go.
Yeah,
hey, this has been a good first episode. I'm assuming once this goes in that's going to be the...
Well, that's pretty much ready to go.
Yeah, there's that one. There's that one. And there's another one in your hand. Where's the belt? Give me the belt. Are we up to that?
Oh, I think we probably will be.
Was that bag 3?
Look, hey, look at what's next.
Is it bag 4?
That is bag 4.
Oh, look at that. We're on fire. We should do more builds together.
When was the last build we did together?
Well, sort of work gets in the way, doesn't it?
I know. But isn't this work?
Hey?
Isn't this work?
Well,
look, if all you customers could stop coming in for an hour or so,
then we wouldn't be.
Then we wouldn't have a job.
Then we wouldn't have a job.
All right, Nick, ignore what I just said. Luckily, he won't watch this. We might.
I'm just going to open the contents of these bags and get that out all in a nice little pile.
As you've seen Brett doing this round and round across it, it's a long, tedious operation, but
you do it once and it's right forever.
But you get it right. You're lucky. There's only 4 bolts here. If you're doing a cylinder head, there's like 12.
There's 12. That's right. Sometimes there's 3 torque steps, and it's a little bit more physical.
Yeah, on the wrench.
And you're trying to hold the motorbike engine between your feet, sometimes like a monkey.
Look, what you do.
You've never done a 2-stroke.
What you do on Friday nights in the privacy of your own living room.
Well, it's in the privacy of deck shed.
Deck shed. Oh, don't talk about the deck shed. I'll get excited.
Yeah, well, it is Friday. It's allowed to be.
Oh.
I like the belt. I like the belts to have the font on the same, facing the same way. It's a little bit of OCD, a little bit of madness.
I'd say you got a lot more madness than that.
I'm gonna go ahead here and offer the lay shaft in. Is it a lay shaft?
I believe it's a lay shaft, yes.
Like so. Gonna go ahead here and offer the front diff in. Now, of course, I'm not paying any attention to anything the instruction says.
No.
So let me know if it's.
I offer you a rear diff, sir. Look at that. I mean, if that's not right, I don't want to know what is. Look at that.
Now I'm using
again
nippers on this.
The simplicity of this.
Well, that's the beauty, and it's light, simple, and it was so effective for many years.
Yeah.
Many years.
That's why I'm very keen to drive this one and see what it's like. I think it will be a WEAPON.
Oof. Spell it for me.
Thereby proving that I can spell. My degree in spelling weapon was not wasted. Oh, yeah, I didn't use any of that on the bottom because I didn't know where it was.
No. So this is because I use this on the top, on the cap bolts. We're doing the caps.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Well, you're going to anyway, whether the manual says
caps?
so.
Yeah, caps.
Yeah.
So because it's such a tiny screw, they're like 2.5 mil or 2.4 mil, right?
Bit of insurance.
Because you can't do them up tight, and you don't want to do them up tight.
So this is what you did on the 870C?
Yeah, and in that way, because you're not going to worry about them rattling loose or pulling down and actually distorting the plastic. I've seen people pull the plastic down and actually crack it all through here because they're only little and they've got no meat. So if you strip that 2.4 millimeter thread, you can't just go and tap it out and put a 3 mil in there. It will not work.
And so, have you had any issues with the caps on your 870?
No. And I've stripped it and rebuilt it once.
And Kenji drove it and didn't break it?
No. So they definitely won't break. It's more just about serviceability and repeatability. So you don't want it to come loose and you don't want to over tighten it. So what I do is get a little puddle of the just blue or purple Loctite.
Oh, there's also Tim alerted me to a new orange one.
L'Orange.
L'Orange. It's not Loctite, it's Permatex.
Is it?
Yeah, so I'll be getting some of that.
And what level is it? Or it doesn't matter? It doesn't
I don't
matter.
care, it's orange.
That's L'Orange.
Yeah, if it's orange,
so
I
just
want
put like a little drop on there, and that's it. And then I'm going to offer that in. I'm sort of reaching over here. Reach around.
A bit of a reach around.
Well, going back to Fridays.
Yeah, well.
And this again, I'm treating it much like the diff case actually. Just going to do this down very...
Line them up first.
Incrementally. And being that typical YOKOMO machining, it is
everything's nice.
Spot on.
I have noticed that. I mean, in the past, well, it's not quite a year now that I've been putting YOKOMO kits together, and they're all pretty nice.
I know. How nice is the top end stuff?
Yeah.
You know, like
the top end stuff is just beyond. It's.
No, when you do one of their top end, and not that this isn't a top end buggy, but you know what I mean, one of their SOs or MOs or, and then I'm just going to go around now, just holding it down, and that's it. Just seating the heads of the screw, and the Loctite will do the rest.
It doesn't need to be.
Doesn't need to be tight.
You're letting the Loctite do the job. The fastener is basically just lining it up.
Yeah. And the Loctite, like I said, it won't make it impossible to get out. It's just going to stop it from rattling loose. Yeah. That's all we're trying to do. Because it's not done up tight at all.
Look at this. We've got a whole drivetrain.
I had something else to... So the original YZ-091, I think they called it that. I'm not sure. The 91 works.
I think it's just always been a Works 91. This is the same box.
They would have had magnesium bulkheads.
Yeah,
so they were cast out of magnesium, and that went all the way to the touring cars as well. And that magnesium was bloody soft, right? And that would strip just by looking at it with these little screws.
That's a bit like you. You strip just by looking.
People will think we're deviants. That's all we do is talk about lubes and stripping and...
Yeah, but that's why they watch this, because they know that's what they're going to get.
RC builds with a difference.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's not really a torque setting. I'm just pulling it down nice and even, making sure one thing I'm enjoying about this chassis is it doesn't have that spine.
Mm.
Because this one must have a top deck, right?
Yes.
Which I've put on the 870 anyway. Have you had the 870 out for reference yet?
No.
We probably will on,
I've got the top
on
deck
the live show. Is that going on?
Not right now.
Oh, I was going to say that's not in the bag,
I was
is
just
it?
bringing it out so it would prove to you, hey, we've got a top deck that goes on there.
Now, one thing that I'm still a little bit, I won't say miffed about, but I would like to see a rear belt tensioner. Or rear belt tensioning system, because there is none.
I must say, it's really lovely and smooth and free.
The beauty of
A bit
belts.
like you.
Well, I'm not free, but I'm cheap.
Yeah. I like to think of you as affordable.
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 I'm an affordable model.
Affordable. Value for money.
These screws here.
2.5 by 10 we want for.
How many should I have?
We want 2.5 by 10 and...
Am I putting the center ones in, or no, they come in separate?
You're putting in
They're going
these
to top
ones.
deck. Yeah,
These
just those ones.
Just those ones.
Yeah, and they're the 10s, right?
You're enjoying doing this, aren't you?
I do love a good build.
Yeah.
And I love building, you know, with you. Usually it's like something that's... And when you're on camera, you can sort of...
Yeah.
And you know me, I'm a little... When I see these bright lights come on in the studio, I'm like a moth.
Yeah. Look at that.
Drivetrain completed.
That's 45 minutes. Between the two of us, we've now got a drivetrain, front and rear diffs.
I've got some beautiful shock towers to come on, and it's going to start looking like a buggy.
Yeah.
Well, you get those shock towers on. I'm going to go
do
back.
the shock towers, and
I'm going to go back and do some work.
I'm going to call it after that because there's turnbuckles next. So
Turnbuckles.
they're turnbuckles. They're things that I do off camera, so people don't hear me invent new swear words. But that's not bad. We've got to this stage in 45 minutes.
You take care, TFG. You have fun.
Oh, I'm having more fun than you can believe.
And thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, go. Get out of here. I've got work to do. I've got YOKOMOs to build. See, as always, we never get through a build without Brett coming in. But let's face it, he likes building toy cars too. That's why we work here. We're looking at the rear arms here. Yep, not going to do that in this one. Just going to put this rear shock tower on. Screw. Brett done with all the stuff. That's the 1.5. Where is the 2 mil? There it is. That's an M3 by 6. Okay. Just gonna bolt this on here. Struggling a bit here because surprisingly the lack of light. It's even though we've got lots and lots of studio lights, it's actually quite dark just here. This is not going in. Going to resort to standing up. Hopefully I don't go out of shot. Here we go. That's better. I'm not 100% sure I've got this right. In fact, I'm sure I haven't. Have I got the right tower? I think I have. Anyway, what I'm going to do is call that now. By the time you come back later, I'll have this sorted and we'll have it done. So this is the first part of the build on the Works 91. Looking really forward to finishing this one off. So on the next episode, in another week or so, we'll have the shock. So yeah, we'll have all the arms and everything done. It'll be really, really good. Really looking forward to it. Hope you're enjoying it. Hope you enjoy Brett coming in and talking a bit of crap. I'm Tony from Hearns. This is the YOKOMO Works 91.